What's up, good people, and welcome back to my channel. Yes, I'm back from a hiatus, vacation, all that good stuff. But today, I'm not gonna do the life update video now. What I wanna get into is what I keep getting messages about, and that is the Black Enterprise article on Robbie Montgomery and her at the age of 81, making a big comeback, trying to still live her dreams. And what most people care about, she finally addressed what's happening with Tim and this murder for hire plot. So let's get into the article, and of course we're going to talk about the part that everybody really cares about and they're texting me about and emailing me about. So in this article, they actually had a lot of beautiful pictures of Miss Robbie with that photo shoot that she took that we saw actually a couple months ago. And I think the photo shoot was done by Mr. Utica. Not familiar with who he is, but they said that he actually posted on his Instagram page. And of course, by now, you know, we've all shared those pictures. She's absolutely beautiful. I honestly think it's the best photo shoot I've seen her publicly put out since I've heard of her. Yeah, definitely top notch. I actually need to look into contacting him myself. So it goes on in the article to say that Miss Robbie is saying that she's no longer waiting to pursue her dreams of becoming a solo music artist. And we know that she's talked about this for many years, even on the show. And, you know, she had some times where she was trying to gear them back up with the Sweetie Pie's video that they shot that unfortunately she had Tim in charge of. So of course that didn't go anywhere. So Miss Robbie shares in this interview that she's basically taking things one day at a time, and she's working at the restaurant and trying to get back into her musical career. And she said her goal is to be the oldest person to win a Grammy, really the oldest female to win a Grammy, because she said her friend Bobby Rush has already gotten 2. So he took away the chances of her being the oldest person to ever win a Grammy. So her current song that she has out is the Ain't My Stuff Good Enough, which I think I did a video about it. Yes, did I? I think I did. Let me know in the comments below if I did or not. Everything's a blur lately. But anyway, I know I intended to. There's a lot of videos I intend to do that don't get out. But, there's a lot of videos I intend to do that don't get out. So I'm not always sure what you guys see versus what I have in my head. But that song is on social media, and she's saying that she was really excited. And she says that she's staying prayed up and thanking God for every day. And she's loving where her life is. She said that singing is her first love and chicken is her second. And I think we already know that because she was singing and only started cooking and having a restaurant when her singing career unfortunately came to an end because of her vocal issues. So she said in the article, now she's at a point in her life where she could do what she wants. That's a beautiful place to be at, and I can't wait till I'm 100% able to do that. I'm partially there, but I would like to be 100% there. She says that she's always loved singing and she background for everyone in the world. And she says she never had her own hit song, so that was her inspiration. And she was saying that it's never too late to pursue your dreams, and that's so true. She says that the single Ain't My Stuff Good Enough that she currently has out was actually written by one of the Ike's 40 years ago, and it was considered a dirty song then. So she said they put it out, but it actually got banned. And now she's saying that it actually is not dirty enough. So she went on to say you can apply it to sex, but if you're at a job and you do a great job every time and everyone else passes you by and you don't get the promotion you want, it's still the same thing. Ain't my stuff good enough? So she says the song actually covers a lot of things. It could be anything. It doesn't just apply to Ain't My Sex Good Enough. She said, but it gets attention, so that'll work for me too. While describing the actual video for Ain't My Stuff Good Enough, Ms. Robbie says that in the video, she had to keep in mind that she's 81. So she couldn't have her hooters or her tutors hanging out. So she just stayed true to her age and got some young people to show their hooters. And it was just a real life situation. A man cheating on a woman or vice versa. And that was the story and what they tried to show in the video. The lady in the video is doing everything she can to please the guy, and he's still going out cheating. So that was the moral of the story. Been there. So it's Ain't My Stuff Good Enough, and why ain't you home with me? So I don't know, when watching the video though, I don't know, maybe I was just paying a lot of attention to Miss Robbie and how great she looked in the video, but I wasn't quite following it 100% like that. But maybe I just don't remember. I'll have to watch it again. But the video was definitely shot very well. So it was, you know, good to watch. But it just, I'm not going to necessarily say that I love the song, and primarily just because it's not quite my sound, but the packaging of it and the way it's all been put together and promoted, etc., I think is really great. I really do. It's definitely worlds apart from what was happening when she attempted to release a single when Sweetie Pies was airing. And now that I think about it, I feel like she tried to release a single a couple years ago. You guys let me know in the comments below, but I feel like there was a video, I feel like there was an album actually, or a couple singles a couple years ago that she also tried to release. And I just think this was definitely, the bar is raised. So there's definitely a more creative team, I would say, behind this project than the previous one than the one she's done in previous years. So she says that she actually got over 500 views on it, and I'm assuming, I don't know, she's not saying where, but maybe overall, maybe she means overall on all social media platforms. She got 500 views on it. She says she's working on her second song now, and it's called Feels Like Cheating. Interesting. So she's saying she has to stay in her lane, and people her age know what she's talking about. True. Like, if you get old enough, you've most likely probably had that, you know, situation of cheating happen to you, and you probably one of the perpetrators as well. So she says she's working on another video, and she's just gonna see how far she can go with it, and it's what she loves to do, so she's just gonna keep doing it. And that's for all of us. If we have something that we love doing, for me, that's this. And so no matter what's happening in your life, you're going to do your best to, like, you know, keep it going, or keep tuned into it, and keep trying to make it happen. And that's, you know, where I'm at with this. So yeah, and I'll share that in my life update. Then they went on in the article to talk about her business struggles. And while talking about the business struggles, primarily due to the pandemic, Ms. Robbie said that yes, her businesses had definitely experienced challenges during the pandemic, and she said she had to close them several times. And she says, truthfully, they haven't been back up to capacity, and she says they're struggling, and she's just praying that they come out alive and that they don't get sick while trying to perform the jobs of providing meals for everyone. She then goes on to say that being a business owner is not an easy thing, and you sleep that business and you eat that business. You sleep thinking about how you can improve the business, what it's going to take to please your customers. After a while, when you stretch yourself out so far, it becomes too much. I'm a living witness. The story of my life. So it is true, as an entrepreneur, many people don't understand. They compare it to being, you know, a person who works a 9 to 5 and you can walk away from it. And even when it's, you know, my job is busy too, and, you know, I supervise people, etc. Yeah, that's a lot. It is. But there's a different level when it all falls on you. The life of the business is on you. That is a different ball game completely. You're in a whole different arena. And so I totally get where she's coming from with this. So she then goes on to say that she decided we would close a lot of them and just try to give our love and our attention to the ones we have open right now, as we have two, the one in St. Louis and the one in Jackson, Mississippi. She said those are the ones that she's trying to keep alive and well. She said that, like most businesses, they're short on staff, but she's still trying to keep it open. And she said that's what people really don't understand. She was saying you can't open when you're understaffed because they're gonna talk about the service. And she says if you're open, they're gonna say, oh, it wasn't this because they didn't have that. So you don't really know what to do. You just have to make a judgment call on what's best for your business. Every day we're looking for chefs and servers, but no one wants to work. And that's true. We know that to be true across the country. And those jobs, like pretty much entry-level jobs or jobs in service and restaurants, fast food service, things of that nature, those are some of the businesses that are in retail as well. Those are some of the businesses across the country who are having the most issues fulfilling jobs, but really in general. But I will say, as a person who's hiring and looking for staff in my day job, that I do see an increase of people now applying for jobs, and I think it has a lot to do with the fact that unemployment has ended for many of the people who were on it due to the pandemic. So, you know, I guess, you know, probably in a few months we should see some level of recovering from that, with people starting to go back to work. But can you really blame them when those who are working those sort of jobs, when they were on unemployment, they were making the same, if not more, than they would be working going to a job. So it's kind of the situation we put ourselves in from a wealth gap perspective. You know, it is what it is. So the interviewer also asked Miss Robbie about pretty much the day-to-day of the restaurants, and Miss Robbie also said that she actually works still in the restaurants daily. She kind of goes between St. Louis and Jackson, and when in either place, she is working in those restaurants. However, currently, she is trying to give herself a little bit of a break and trying to balance out living for herself and pursuing this music career, because she says she doesn't want them to have to scrape her off the floor of the restaurants from her really not taking time and going into those restaurants every single day. And at the age of 81, she deserves to definitely be able to take that kind of break, which was supposed to happen with her having her son, James Timothy Norman, who was really supposed to, at this point in the business, be able to take it over where she could just reap the fruits of her labor. But you know, he decided to do a murder for hire plot on his nephew instead for $400,000, which he never got that, and would have made more, I'm sure, had he just rolled the wave of whatever struggles he was going through financially. So speaking of that, they also asked her about the tragedies in her life, and specifically over the past, 5 years or so, she's been going through a lot of heartache, and Miss Robbie's response was all her life. And that is true. Miss Robbie has had a lot of tragedies in her life. Actually, her fiance, who was also Tim's father, was murdered. And he was murdered when she was only a few months pregnant with Tim. Then she had her firstborn child, Andre Sr., who was also murdered in a gang fight in California. And yeah, she's experienced a lot of heartache in her life, even losing her career, due to her collapsed lung. So she's been through a lot, and those are the things we know about. So in 81 years, I'm sure she's been through a ton more. But they asked her, how did she survive her grandson's Andre's death in 2016, and ultimately her son, James Timothy Norman, being charged in connection with the death? What's keeping her going? And I quote, Miss Robbie said, "My faith. I'm believing this is going to turn out right. I'm praying. The whole world is praying for my family. We're just getting up every day and going day by day. It's not a good position to be in, but God put this in me and I'm handling it. And I know He's not going to let me down. So my family is dealing with all of these issues." And then she goes on to say, after this, there will be something else. Did you pay the light bill? Then the gas bill is due. So life is like that, and whatever it deals you, you have to deal with it. It's nothing I would reach in a barrel to pull out. I'm just doing the best I can and staying prayed up. She was then also asked, where do we stand with the case? Is it still going on? Are they still investigating? Miss Robbie then says, everything's at a standstill. I really don't know a lot about it, and that's why I don't talk about it. We're just waiting. Everything is kind of at a standstill because of COVID. So the courts are behind, but we're just waiting and praying for a miracle. After all, everyone has to realize that Tim hasn't been found guilty. That's what he's accused of, so we don't know what happened. That's my son. I mean, it's like a marriage, till death do us part. I can't give him back. When kids get in trouble, they're still your kids, no matter what happens. I'm still his mom, and he's still got support, and I'm praying my child gets out of this because, like I said, he hasn't been found guilty, but the world beats him up. This could happen to you. It happened to me. It could happen to anybody's family. We just have to go right on living. You don't die when things happen. You just have to deal with it and what it takes. And I don't know. So I don't know. I do have my own opinions regarding this, and I would say this is probably not a popular opinion, and people are probably going to let me have it in the comments, but I'm okay with that. I understand where Miss Robbie is with this, her position in this. I think that if we take out the fact that, these are public figures and really break it down to its simplest terms, most parents are going to hold their child down till the end. Not in a way of justifying what they did, but just because your child does something wrong doesn't mean you instantly stop loving them. And I think this is more of the situation we're in with this. And I don't know. I think people want her to just rip him a new one in the public eye. Yeah, I guess I'm just lost at what people expect Miss Robbie to do in this particular situation. Her son has been charged with the murder for hire plot of her grandson, and that she really loved and took care of, and, you know, did all she could to help him graduate high school and all of that. So clearly she loved Andre. And so, and loves him, I'm sure. And then she has Tim, who we clearly know she loves her son, Tim, to be put in a position to have to pick a side, so to speak. And given the situation, we know, like, murder is wrong. All of it is wrong. Many of us know from the evidence we've just seen, even at this point, that Tim is definitely guilty. Like, we know this. But to ask this woman to give us the satisfaction of her disowning her child in the public eye, I think it's just wrong. I think it's unnecessary. I think even in this situation, there's grief involved. And so there's stages of grief anytime you lose a person, even if they're physically in the land of the living, as they say. Even if they're still here, there is a grief process. And I believe that she has the right to go through her grief process. She has the right to handle this however she needs to handle it for her sanity. And I think it's wrong for us to require her to have vitriol for Tim the way that we do. Because I go in on Tim, and I'll continue to go on Tim. But I'm not going to go in on Miss Robbie because she's not on the bandwagon of ripping her son apart for our public consumption. I'm not going to do that. So, and I see it, and the reason I even felt the need to even say all of this and I don't know, even do this video is because I do see in the comments of various things with her that people are picking on her or, you know, dragging her because of the fact that she seems to be in support of her son. And I don't think that means she's in support of him murdering her grandchild or having him murdered. I think it's her dealing with the grief the best way she can and holding out hope that this is all a farce, which we know it's not. But that's one of the stages of grief is denial. And I believe she's in denial. And even as she stated in this particular article, she is not fully aware of everything, and that's why she hasn't really commented as well. I believe some of the things that we even know, you know, minute by minute of this case, she may not even be fully informed on because she's probably just going off what Tim is telling her. So, because even all this delay stuff, yeah, this ain't due to COVID. It's him and like it's them delaying the case. It's not, COVID is not delaying this case at this point. So, yeah. I'm not going to be like, if anyone is expecting me to do videos where I'm dragging Miss Robbie, that ain't happening. That's not happening. So I just wanted to put my 2 cents in it. And again, it may not be a popular opinion because that's all it is, because I don't know shit. I just don't about this. I don't know shit. So it's my opinion and I'm entitled to it, just like Miss Robbie's entitled to her opinion or however she wants to deal with finding out that her son is being charged with murdering her grandchild. So, or playing a role in the murder of her grandchild. She has the right to deal with that how she needs to. So that's enough of my soapbox on that. But let's get back to the article. And so in closing, Don Only, the interviewer, then went on to ask Miss Robbie, how is Tim holding up? And Miss Robbie's response is, he's holding up. I mean, he has no choice. I mean, he's ready to come home. Things are slow in the court, so I have to encourage him that this is a part of it. This is a part of the process, and we're all going through it. But as his family, we're sticking together. And I don't know. That's Miss Robbie saying that the whole family is sticking together. I don't know what that entirely means. I don't know if that means, you know, the immediate Sweetie Pie's family that we know from the TV series are all holding out hope and calling Tim and supporting him while he's in jail? Or does she mean that, you know, there's no major conflict? I believe that if what I've heard is true, or what's been put out there is true, that there is conflict between Andre's side of the family and this, Montgomery's. And that's understandable too, but it seems like that's been going on since 2016 when Andre was murdered. So, who knows? We're not able to find, get context completely to that. Nevertheless, one of the other things that I was very interested in this particular article was the question of what happened to Welcome to Sweetie Pie's on OWN, and are you through with it or working on reviving it? And Miss Robbie's response was, well, not reviving it. We had like a 7-year contract and we did 100+ episodes, which I'm still working on reviewing when I can get around to it. She said they got 2 NAACP Image Awards, and she thinks that it has ran its course. And at the end of the contract, that was it. So she doesn't know what's in store for the future, but she's open to whatever because she didn't know that they were even gonna get that. And she says that show happened in her 70s. So you never know in your life what's going to come for you, and you have to be open to receive it. So then she was asked if she still keeps in touch with Oprah, and she says she never did, that it was basically a business situation and that she just saw her cordially for business purposes, but that Oprah was very nice. Now, what I will also say about the reviving of the show, she did say that it would not be revived. However, you got to pay attention to context clues because she's not saying that it won't happen at all. She said reviving. So I think that would be reviving of the Welcome to Sweetie Pies in the sense of the way we were used to it being documented. Maybe it wouldn't look the same this time around, and probably would be better if it didn't, to be honest. It just probably hold our attention better if it was just different. But also, it seems like she's leaving open, because she says she's open to whatever because she didn't even know she was going to get that. And she's saying that ran its course. But I'm starting to think that the rumor I heard a few weeks ago was that I think an employee of the Jackson, Mississippi location spoke about some filming going on, or that the show, that there was some kind of filming or reality show style something happening. And so that's starting to make me think that there could be, unless that was a total farce, there could be something happening. And also for me, what kind of cosigns that there could be something in the works on some level is that a few months ago, this was probably 6 months ago, probably because time goes so fast, that Charles and Monique did an Instagram live, and they were at like a house party of some sort, like with family, and they were asked in the Instagram live by some of the people viewing about a remake of the Welcome to Sweetie Pie series, and they stated that they were actually in works of rebooting the show right before the stuff happened with Tim, and so they didn't know where they stood as of that point. So it's not far-fetched that there's a chance that they finally figured out what to do. So Tim is in jail now. He's definitely not going to be a part of it, but what else can we do? And they probably may have, and then COVID happened, of course, too. So maybe they figured out a way to still make this happen in a different way than they originally planned for a reboot of some sort. So Ms. Robbie seems like she's answering questions and not answering them at the same time. Like she's doing that, Hollywood stuff, where they got stuff going on and they just can't tell you, so they act a little lost. Yeah, so I'm hoping that we do get something from it. It'll be great, because then I can do those as live, review episodes. So, but all in all, that is all for this video. I might be a little, discombobulated. I have not done a video, I've not recorded a video in over a month. So I feel rusty, feel very rusty. But I wanted to get this out, and I felt like this one would be a little easier to do because, can't quite get all my bearings on all my processes yet. I have to warm back up to it. But with that, definitely videos coming in the future. I'm not gone. It might slow down. Yeah, I'll have to give updates on, why this is now taking kind of like, a backseat to a degree, but I'm still totally into it. But, you only got so much time in a day. So we'll talk about that at a later point. But with that, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for hitting me up saying, hey, what you got to say about Ms. Robbie in the Black Enterprise interview? Because I was thinking about it once I saw it, but I was like, yeah, I guess I'll do something with that. And yeah, then a lot of other stuff starts happening, and then I forget. And then it gets to be so far from when it originally happened, to be, you know, a month out or something. And I'm like, well, it don't make sense to cover it now because they won't be interested. So, but yes, we'll work through that. So with that, until next time, until I upload the next video, you guys know what to do with this one. Like it, of course. Help us grow. All that good stuff. We're still growing, even though I'm not putting out content. God is good. We're still gonna hit these numbers in the future. So with that, until next time, until I upload the next video, make sure to take care and be blessed. Peace. Okay. Thank you, Jesus.